allies of the former president, saying that they welcome the court ruling which grants Zuma the leave to appeal the North Gauteng High Court judgment regarding his medical parole. I've spoken to quite a few supporters of the former president, including one in Nkosensha Shezi. He has often been seen on stage when Zuma used to appear outside various courts and speaking to crowds. Shezi would be beside him and almost organizing some of these events. But what is common throughout a number of the people that I spoke to is that they have lashed out at the judiciary system, claiming that the courts are corrupt. They claim that the courts have shown bias against Zuma, and they believe that Zuma, being 80 years old now at this point, should be, as they say, left alone at home to rest at home in Nkandla. Here's what Nkosensha Shezi said just after the court handed down ruling earlier today.
No, we welcome the decision of the court to grant him the leave to appeal. We are of the view that the court itself erred in its finding that, in its decision to set aside the medical parole. You must understand that the medical parole, even though it was granted for President Jacob Zuma, he did not grant it for himself. Our democracy and our country has different organs that assist in terms of the normal day-to-day running of the country. I can quote many instances where other institutions would be nullified whenever they've made a decision in favor of President Jacob Zuma, and that renders our justice system questionable and perceived to be biased. And therefore we welcome the decision, because we do think that another court, an independent court, a court that is not captured, may find that the decision of the North Gauteng High Court was wrong, and the medical parole may be upheld.
Well, Karinda, are there any indications of any sort of ceremonies to mark this particular judgment, or is it rather quiet on your side?
Well, actually, we understand that on the 27th of December, supporters of the former president will gather outside in Nkandla. There's actually a poster going around on Twitter that was posted by Shezi, and I did ask him about this, where supporters have been called on to bring their own sort of picnic braai stands, chairs and tables, and they're going to be camping outside Zuma's Nkandla homestead. They say it's just a day to give thanks, they said, for the work that the former president has done for them, and then also just as a show of support for Zuma in the wake of the number of court proceedings that he has faced over this year. I'm actually standing outside the ANC KZN offices just for the reason of, while they've not commented yet on the outcome of today's court proceedings, they have previously tried to have the top brass of the ANC, the top six, give them a green light to actually be friends of the court in support of Zuma's appeal. And while the ANC NEC did not actually give them the go-ahead to do this, we have seen the KZN Premier, who is also the chairperson of the ANC in KZN, show support for the former president. He said this is not a factional matter, but simply supporting a former president, a former leader of the ANC. So, one then could say that as well, then, the likes of the ANC and KZN that have wanted to go to court and support Zuma during this court process would also welcome the outcome of today's court proceedings. But in the meanwhile, we do understand that on the 27th of December, then, many of Zuma's supporters that we have previously seen outside court during his court appearances pre-COVID would be there camping outside in Nkandla, what they describe as a day of fun to show support for the former president.
Karinda Jagmohan coming to us live from Durban. Thank you so much for that update.